Welcome back to Learn with Chris. I'm Chris. Okay, today we're going to continue with building vocabulary, but we're finished with prefixes. We've done 7 videos about those. So this time we're going to move on to a different grammatical topic called suffixes. It's a natural next step after prefixes. Prefixes, of course, are the words that we put before a word, and it has a specific meaning, or it creates an opposite, for example, possible, impossible. And suffix are the word endings that we put after a word, but they don't change the meaning of the word. Instead, what they do is they change what we call the part of speech. So a verb can change into a noun by adding a suffix, or an adjective becomes an adverb by adding a suffix, or a noun can become an adjective by adding a suffix. So it changes one part of speech into another part of speech, but it doesn't change the meaning of the word. It still remains the same concept. Now, the original word that we're using, we call that the root word. So you have your root word, and then you're going to start adding suffixes. You start adding suffixes to the end of that root word, and you're going to change it from a noun into a verb, into an adjective, etc. So a very good example for this is the word create. Create. Of course, create means to make something. So create is a verb. So our root word is create. Now, by adding prefixes before create, for example, recreate, which means to make something again, or to create again, or procreate, by adding these prefixes, procreate means to make a baby, they're still verbs, right? So we haven't changed the suffix, we're just changing the prefix. So by adding prefixes, we're making new words. So create, recreate, or recreate, procreate, they're all verbs because we haven't changed the ending. We haven't changed the suffix. But if we do change the suffix, for example, if we add ion to create and then we get the word creation, now it's not a verb anymore. Now it's a noun. It is the thing that you make is the creation, right? So the meaning, of course, is still related to create or making something, but it's not a action anymore as a verb. Now it's a thing, right? So it changes from a verb into a noun. Another example is if we add ity. So for example, the word creativity, that is also a noun. So it's something that you have. You have creativity, it's a noun, right? So ity is a noun suffix. ion is a noun suffix. Another example is or. So you get the word creator, the person who creates. So again, people are nouns. So that's another example of a noun suffix. So ion, ity, or, these are all examples of noun suffixes, right? So it's changing the word create into a thing, into a person, a creator, or something that you have, creativity, which is still a noun. And if we go back to the word create again, and we add ive to make the word creative, then that is an adjective. So ive is an adjective suffix. So it changes the word into an adjective, right? So, and again, if we start adding prefixes before creative to make like recreative or uncreative, there's still adjectives, because it still has the ivy, so there's still adjectives. We're just making new words by adding the prefixes, right? So creative, ive, that is a adjective suffix for this example that we're looking at. So create to creative. And lastly, we can make adverbs as well. Now, we can't make adverb directly from create, but we can from creative. So create, add ive to make creative, adjective, and then add ly to make creatively, that is an adverb. the vast majority of adverb prefixes is ly, right? So there's a lot of ly words, and they're almost all, not 100%, but almost all adverbs. So adverbs are pretty easy to spot. So creatively, uncreatively are examples of adverbs. So we got the word create. We can change it into a noun, creation, creativity. We can change it into an adjective, creative, and we can change it into an adverb, creatively. All of these things we're adding are called suffixes, and we put them at the end of the word and at the end of the root word, and the purpose of it is to make new parts of speech. But they're all related around the concept of create. They're not new meanings. It's not a completely different meaning. It's still about making something. So that's kind of the idea. So we got some example sentences to look at. As a verb, I like to create art. So create is a verb, it's an action. So I like to make art, right? As a noun, his creativity knows no bounds. So it's important to look at the grammar. So for example, his blank, the thing that he has, so it must be a noun, right? So he has something, right? It's like saying my car or his car, that's a noun. But we also have creativity. It's not concrete, it's more of an abstract idea, but we still have it. So his creativity, that is a noun. As an adjective, she is a very creative person. So remember that adjectives very often go, not all the time, but very commonly they're going to be before a noun, right? So creative person. It's possible to just to say like he is creative. You don't have to put the noun after the adverb, but very often we do. And that's how you're going to see it, right? Anytime you have a noun like person, if you want to give more information about that person, you're going to use an adjective. You're going to use an adjective to tell you about that person. What kind of person is he? He's a tall person, a creative person, a smart person. These are all adjectives, right? They describe a noun. And an example of an adverb, they solve the problem creatively. How did they do it? So we're taking the verb solve. How did they solve? So what is the method of solving? They did it creatively. So that is an adverb. All right. So this video here was basically just to give an overview of what suffixes are, using create as an example. But in the next 4 videos, I'm going to go through a list of noun suffixes and give a bunch of examples, and there's a lot. And then another video for adjective suffixes, verb suffixes, and adverb suffixes. So that's going to be the next 4 videos, all related about suffixes and giving you a bunch of examples for them. Now, unlike prefixes, which has specific meanings, you can kind of guess, if you know the prefix, if you know the meaning of a prefix, you can guess what the word is if you know what the prefix is. However, with suffixes, you can't. Like if I give you a root word and you don't know what it means, the suffix is not going to help you understand what the word means. But it is going to help you understand, oh, that's an adjective, that's an adverb, that's a noun. You'll know what part of speech it is through knowing the suffix, but not necessarily what does the word mean. If you don't know the root word, you're not going to know the meaning. But you know what part of speech. And that might help a little bit. But again, I'm going to be giving lots of examples, and we'll be looking at hopefully some new words, building vocabulary, and that's the point. All right, so thank you for watching this video on suffixes. And again, our next video will be on noun suffixes specifically. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. And like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time. Take care.